This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Gatorade Zero, the #1 proven electrolyte blend, made with zero sugar. Designed to hydrate better than water so you can lose more sweat and push more limits. Gatorade Zero, is it in you?
Support for today's show comes from Sonos. Watching games with the Sonos home theater setup makes everything feel more immersive. The Arc Ultra soundbar delivers incredible surround sound that puts you right in the middle of the action, bringing that stadium experience right into my home. And now I've been trying out the Sonos Ace headphones, and like all Sonos products, they perform as good as they look. Sleek design, crystal clear sound, and a super comfortable fit. Check out the full lineup at Sonos.com.
Wasabi Technologies is purpose-built to free businesses from skyrocketing storage costs and unpredictable egress fees from those old and top-heavy legacy providers. You know, the big guys. Wasabi is the go-to provider for professional and collegiate sports teams around the world. From Wasabi's AI-enabled intelligent media storage, Wasabi Air, to the industry's only cloud storage service with triple protection against cyber criminals, Wasabi is driving innovation in data storage, all for up to 80% less than those other guys. Try them out for free at wasabi.com.
This is your chance to make baseball history. Leader Fan Radio Network.
Well, pretty good.
And KFAN.com. 1 minute, 47 seconds past the hour of 3 o'clock. Central Daylight Time. We want to welcome you to a Friday Football Beast edition of the highly controversial, occasionally combustible bumper-to-bumper program on a fairly steamy Friday afternoon here in the Twin Cities that we affectionately refer to as Minneapolis and St. Louis Park. My name is Dan Barreiro. I host the program. Guardsy produces the show, and we are delighted that you chose to join us. Going to be a power-packed program today, as usual. A combo platter show. There'll be some toy department conversation. We might dip our toe into the A section, maybe the culture section. Would that be C or D? No, I think technically, usually, in the old days, A section news, B section metro, C section culture, D sports.
Really?
I think historically, if you're going to do it by the letters, nobody does it by the letters anymore.
Yeah.
But once upon a time, I want to say I guess it's possible sports was C.
I always remember
Star
Tribune being C.
It could be.
Yeah.
It could very well be C.
For more Barreiro, go to C9.
Yeah, you might be right about that. In any case, we'll dabble. There's no question about that, and we'll appreciate your contributions via the Bradshaw and Bryant KFAN text line at 64686. 64686. Speaking of St. Louis Park, because of the ongoing infuriating detours that we have to deal with coming from west to east on 394, I came within an eyelash of a smash up.
No.
On Cedar Lake Road, because that's one of the back ways you then can get to our location.
I take it a lot.
Cedar Lake Road, I'm traveling towards the station. Not close yet, but what would be the cross street that would be coming up? I can't remember. In any case, there's 2 lanes. I am in the right lane. And out of nowhere, to my left, a car attempting to make a left-hand turn into a strip mall there, with, again, 2 lanes to traverse, just decides he's going to go. It doesn't matter that there's traffic, ongoing traffic with a green light going in the other direction. He's just going to. So my choices were slam on the brakes or hit him. And I was going to lose that anyway, as you know, because then you're in the middle of it. It's a meat grinder. You got to worry about insurance. You got to worry about damage, and you don't want to hurt anybody either.
And you don't have Kessler for backup in case things get ugly.
And he makes the turn, and as he finishes the turn, because I've now stopped in a place where he can do the turn, and he does the proverbial looks over at me and shakes his fist like, you're the idiot. And I guess that's human nature, right? It's like, well, have maybe a little bit of contrition. Maybe instead of shaking your fist, you do the old, like you almost put your hand up like, my bad. My bad.
Yeah. Shake your head.
He looked to be 10 years older than me, so I don't know if you give him a mulligan for that reason. He looked to be at least 80, maybe 90, maybe 100. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's the only reason I was on Cedar Lake. There it is.
So if not for
could I have sent the insurance charges to MnDOT?
You could have tried.
And
you probably could have proved it, said, I would have had no reason to do this except you've shut down not one, but 2 exits next to my office.
And closed circuit to MnDOT. The last 2 days, the previous days, I forgot, and then had to do the sort of 100 detour around. I looked to my right in front of those 2 exit closings. So that would be what, Louisiana?
Yep.
And Xenia Park Place.
Tumbleweeds.
There was not a single vehicle working on anything. These people think we're idiots because they know there's nothing we can do about it. So is it, well, the equipment's got to come? Then it's back to, well, then why did you already block off the roads? Is it because you're too lazy to remove the barriers? These are busy intersections, or exits, or ramps, are they not?
I would think so. They're 5 minutes outside of downtown.
So anybody who's got sources with MnDOT, and even from MnDOT, let me know. Defend this traffic atrocity. And I know I'm speaking to the choir, because there's a bunch of them out there, and some of them might be worse. But yeah, that was my, I'm still amazed I didn't hit him. Now, he would have been, actually, I would have crunched into the passenger side of his vehicle, because he's coming left. So I don't think anybody would have gotten hurt. But I will say, if I had been speeding up instead of slowing down.
Or not paying attention.
Because he's coming hard. He's he's frustrated. First of all, I'm not even sure it's a legal left-hand turn at all from where he was. But he didn't give a damn. He was going to go.
The stories a stadium could tell.
Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Where were we? Oh.
Baseball history?
Well, you tell me. What took place last night at Target Field?
Twins were up 3-0 and ended up losing the game. And Rocco got tossed in extra innings.
You're quite warm with the second item, although we should mention, I think that's the first time apparently that the Tigers came back from a 3 runs or more deficit since May.
Hard to believe with our bullpen. We would give that up.
Our well-established pen? Yeah.
That's got to be equally satisfying for the Tigers that they got to the Twins bullpen.
They won in the 11th inning, correct?
It sounds right. I was asleep by then.
And as you say, Rocco gets ejected in the 11th inning. He does the old dirt kick over the home plate.
Chucked his hat.
He chucked his hat.
It was Gardy-like.
He was unhappy with the home plate umpire, your guy, John Bacon. So Jeffers leads off the bottom of the 11th. Of course, there's a tying runs at second because that's the automatic base runner now. He tips a 2-strike pitch from Montero. Ball gets grabbed by Dingler, the catcher. Bacon calls it a whiff. Jeffers and Baldelli say to the ump, check the ball for a dirt smudge. The ump refuses. And I guess there's no appeal on that. I don't know what the rules are. There must not be. Montero gets the next 2 hitters out. Twins lose, and Rocco is bitter. Here's the quote. The only way you can get the best idea of whether the ball was fouled off or not is to just look at the ball. He wouldn't look at it. I have a lot of respect for John. I don't know why he just wouldn't look at it.
We know it's not good baseball.
For the record, if I have this right, I think these are the updated numbers. I've got, who do you think holds the all-time Twins managerial record for ejections?
It's got to be Gardy.
Not even close.
Yeah.
You want to hazard a guess on how many over the course of his distinguished career?
Man, I'm going to be so far off in this guess. I'm going to say like 30.
73. Gardy was ejected 73 times. Rocco is in second place with, now I can't tell if this number includes last night or not. That was either his 15th last night or his 14th. He's in second place. How many times do you think Tom Kelly was ejected?
5.
Excellent. Exactly right.
Yeah.
You nailed it. 5 is the answer. Who leads all time among major league managers in
It's got to be someone
ejections?
that went forever. So it's like Tony La Russa or Sparky Anderson.
La Russa is 5th.
Okay. Leland?
Leland is not top 5.
He was a little calmer.
You'd recognize the names probably of 2 of these beyond La Russa. Number 1, well, I'll just do it this way. I'll count it down. La Russa is 5th
Okay.
with 93. Earl Weaver is 4th with 96.
Tony Mack?
Not on there, but there is an old-timer. We'll get to him. Leo DeRocher, who managed the Cubs when they collapsed in 69, after many stops before that, in 3rd place with 100 ejections. John McGraw, he's ancient, 121, an all-time leader easily in the clubhouse, Bobby Cox.
Oh.
How many games are there in a Major League Baseball season?
I think there's still 162.
He was ejected 162 times.
Wow.
He was ejected for the equivalent of an entire baseball season over the course of his career.
I mean, how many years did he manage? Because he managed somewhere
A long
before
time.
Atlanta, right?
Yes, he did. Was it Toronto?
I don't remember.
Bobby Cox was a couple of, at least
He was a
2 stops,
long-time
maybe
ball
more.
guy and was in Atlanta forever.
That's it. So here's the history part. Here's what's interesting to me. If you're Rocco, and deep down, you're not going to admit this publicly, you know that there's nothing left this season. You're just playing it out. You just got to get to the finish line. Twins are not going anywhere. Your future might be in doubt. I don't even know. Maybe less in doubt because there's no ownership change. I'm not exactly sure. But you have a Saturday game, or should say a Friday game, right? And you also have, is it Saturday night or Saturday day? Do we know what time we're playing tomorrow? I think it's night.
I think it is too. Because
we didn't want to compete with the Vikings. Yeah, we don't want to compete against the Vikings preseason game either. So I'm guessing it's a early evening start on Saturday.
Tomorrow night is 6:15.
6:15 p.m. With those 2 games, unofficially, but I think it's actually official, Rocco has a chance to do something no manager has ever done. If he finds a way to get ejected tonight and tomorrow night, he will become the first manager in baseball history. No one's ever done it. Some managers, I was stunned to find out several have been ejected in 2 consecutive games.
That's great.
There's been no manager in the history of this fine game who's ever been ejected 3 in a row. Why the hell not? Why not have some fun with it?
Get the Twins on the headlines.
And the beauty of it is, if you really want to try to get thrown out, it ain't that tough to do.
No.
And you can be creative with it. You can be fun with it. And what would be there to lose? I mean, Twins fans who can't stand him, they're down on him anyway, so they can't be any more down on him than they already are, which I think is too down on him, including your guy. I found out in a conversation in these offices yesterday, the day before, Mike Grimm.
Oh, yeah.
Grimm is not a big Rocco guy.
Yeah.
I didn't argue with him.
Doesn't like how he handles the bullpen.
He said you and him have argued about it.
Yes.
I'm not neither one of us are Rocco bashers to the degree that people want us to be.
And Grimm spent 7 or 8 years.
He's a ball guy.
Working with Tony La Russa on St. Louis Cardinals broadcasts and drinks from the La Russa cup.
Yeah, he's a ball guy.
He is. He's a great baseball mind.
Baseball.
Yes.
La Russa, St. Louis, etc. So why not to me, that's my fantasy. To become the first manager in baseball history to be ejected 3 in a row for Mike Yeo. How good would that be?
Well, you've got his number. You text and talk. Let people know. Shoot him a text. I'm sure he'd appreciate that
sentiment. Well, do you think he'd have a sense of humor about that? Or would he chuckle about it? Or would he say bleep you?
Well, he's a nice guy, so he'd probably just, Rocco his way out of it and say, not really what I'm looking to do for Dan. Not a good example for my kids. But in his head, he's probably thinking bleep you.
Yeah, that's probably true. Apparently, I couldn't find how many times manager has been ejected in consecutive games, and apparently, not again surprising, Earl Weaver is one of them.
Okay,
who has been ejected in consecutive games, but apparently never in 3 or more consecutive games. And I guess occasionally there have been instances of managers being ejected in both ends of a doubleheader.
That's brilliant.
So that's the same day. That would be 2 games. How about 3? How about giving some measure of distinction to this operation? And Rocco, he ain't Guardy, but he ain't TK either.
Right.
He's got the ability, I think, maybe to get the thing done.
And you can't do it 3 times in a row if you don't do it tonight.
No,
so the pressure's on.
That's the pressure. Yeah, that's exactly it. Well, I guess the rest of the season you could start a new streak.
That's
true.
But
I'm thinking you got it 1 out of the way. That's the easy one. Even 2, I think, I can't believe there's double-digit managers in baseball history that have been thrown out in 2 consecutive games.
Well, it seems like you probably learned your lesson from the day before.
Close circuit to Dan Minnesota. I don't know if that's a stat he could find. I looked a number of different ways. I'll tell you what, let's stay on schedule. Let me break. And I'll give you an example of where AI can be rather dangerous if you depend on it in a situation like this.
Life moves fast. A new home, a new baby, a new chapter. But without an estate plan, your future's still vulnerable. With Trust and Will, you can name guardians, start a trust, create healthcare directives, and more. All online in about an hour. It's attorney-designed, state-specific, and built to protect what you love. Plans start at just $199, and every plan is safe, secure, and kept completely private. From families with young kids to adults caring for aging parents, Trust and Will makes it simple to take control, without a law office, paperwork stress, or court delays. Go to trustandwill.com and use code RADIO to save 20%. Start your plan today. Don't wait for life to force your hand. Estate planning is one of the smartest, most loving things you can do. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
Trust and Will.
Gatorade Zero, the #1 proven electrolyte blend, made with 0 sugar. Designed to hydrate better than water so you can lose more sweat and push more limits. Gatorade Zero, is it in you?
Mall of America's mystery cards are back, and we're bringing them to you all summer long. Get them at KFAN events throughout the summer, wherever you see our KFAN street team. Then make sure to redeem them at Mall of America for fun prizes and big discounts. Full list of events, KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
The trials and tribulations of AI. Example. Earlier today, I asked AI for the greatest number of consecutive game ejections by of a manager in Major League Baseball. The first time I asked the question, it said there's a bunch of them that have been ejected one at a time, but never has any manager been ejected in consecutive games. I tried it back because I couldn't believe it, and maybe because I worded it differently. Then they mentioned that several have actually been thrown out in consecutive games. So AI has its limitations.
Yeah.
I mean, I think sometimes it works. Sometimes maybe it's in the wording. It gets confused. So there could be operator error. It might be my fault, but
right.
It had left me with 2 different answers. A number of people are assuming that Billy Martin has to be high on the list. And it's interesting because that was his reputation, right? Fiery guy. Got into fights with his own players here in Minnesota. But I'm looking at the all-time ejection list, Major League Baseball managers. By the way, all-time, Ron Gardenhire is 8 with 84 total. So he must have had, did I say 77 with the Twins?
Yes.
So 7 more with the Tigers, apparently.
I guess so.
So he's in 8th place all-time.
Where's Molitor? The mild-mannered, short-term, 3 or 4 year manager, Molly.
Sparky, by the way, is number 19. So he has 56 ejections. And Billy Martin is tied for no better than 26th with Tommy Lasorda. Ejected 48 times. That's going to stun a lot of people who just assume because of his reputation.
Well, his name was in my head as we were kind of going down the list for Twins managers. Gardy obviously was going to be number 1, but number 2 I didn't think was going to be that interesting.
Let's take a look. You're looking for Molly?
Yeah.
I'm still going down.
I don't remember a ton.
I'm still going.
It's a little frustrating.
Dusty Baker is tied for 70th with 26.
Which is crazy because he's managed forever.
That's true, too. Rocco ranks 92nd all time for the record. Well, he's not in the top 100, and it looks like they stop at 100. Molly. We can, I'm sure, find it from some Twin stuff. But, yeah, he's got to be, I'm going to guess single digits, don't you think?
Yes. Because, again, how long was he a manager here? Wasn't a long time.
It wasn't that long, no. Not long enough, according to most. Ozzie Guillen, only 29. That also seemed low.
It does.
And I mentioned TK, very low, no surprise, is number 5. Let me grab a couple of texts here.
AI says 3 times for Molly. Ejected twice in 2015, once in 2018.
That's it?
Yeah.
Not surprising. More Rocco savagery. Brad saying Rocco's the reason we lost last night. First in the 9th inning, runner at third base who ran on a ground ball to the second baseman was on the grass, easy out, never should be running. That was still a bang-bang play. That's the contact play. I mean, I don't love that that's been part of Major League Baseball, but it has for a long time, is it not? And as it was a pretty damn close play. We had the talent. We need new field leadership. I just can't get that worked up over the Rocco stuff, but that's for people who want to believe we're better than we are. And I just don't think we're that much better, quite frankly, than we are. I had one more. Now, see, this is cheap, is it not? Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Terry. To get thrown out 3 consecutive games, Rocco would have to show more fire and initiative than he has at this point.
I love how we, what is the word? Conflate, associate fire and competitiveness and initiative.
Just because he's not spitting every 15 seconds.
Yeah, we're chucking hats across the diamond and kicking dirt on the umpire's feet.
Yeah.
That's enough for some people.
It is, I guess.
And I'm not saying that's not effective for some, but if it's not him, it's not him.
I'm here to say, too, that I can find a good, rhubarb between a manager and an umpire. Quite frankly, especially after. I mean, the smartest managers get ejected and then they double down, and that's when it can really be interesting.
That's when the bases get thrown.
Or it's the old deal of, I'm going to be my nose. One of the more famous ones, I think, is with Mike Zimmer, with Don Zimmer. I can't remember the umpire, but literally their noses are touching, and it's the old deal of, I know I can't shove them. So what I'll do is I'll put my nose as close to him as I can, and then I'll talk fast, which means I'll be spitting, but I can't be blamed for it just because I'm just enunciating. There's some entertaining ones that you can see for sure.
Who was the manager that they were arguing in the middle of the 7th inning, had to pause for God Bless America, and then got right back into the argument? Do you remember that one?
I don't remember that one. No.
I'll have to find that video. That's one of my favorites, where they're arguing, and then Bob Casey gets on and tells everybody to please remove your hats for God Bless America. They pause, observe the song, and then get right back to fighting. It's as good as it gets.
Hey, somebody claims their version of AI claims that Renteria of the White Sox was ejected 3 straight games in 2017. So look up Renteria, 3 straight ejections, if anything comes up, because I could not find that anywhere. This is also, I think, a little cheap, is it not? If someone just hides Rocco's bong in the clubhouse, he'll be more on edge than usual. He could have a shot at the record.
We need a new note. Need a new note on Rocco.
Well, it might annoy him. We're probably burying the lead from last night, which was a fairly significant sell the team chant, correct? Heard that a lot last night at various times.
Yep.
We heard it. Did we hear it post-game, too?
That's when I heard it. That's when I heard it most dramatically.
So did we hear it much? I had the sound down, I have to admit. So I had it on as background. So I don't know if we heard much of it during the game as well, sell the team.
I only know from the post game. According to Reddit, White Sox manager Rick Renteria ejected for a third straight home game.
Oh, that's not
second straight game.
Oh, then that's different.
Yeah, that's different.
That's
different. Yeah, but to your question, I was watching the post game show, and Katie Storm and Lods were going through it, and this is like a half an hour after game. It felt like a long time.
Was there any acknowledgement?
No, but there can't be. I mean, what are you going to do? Bring them up?
No, but
I think you just got to plow through, and that's what Laudner did. I thought they were extremely professional.
Oh, I'm not suggesting they weren't professional. I'm saying at some point, do you almost feel like I got to make a rueful little joke here just to acknowledge I am aware of what's behind me, and I'm not going to pretend, but I have a job to do, and that's not my job today. We'll see how. My guess is it's going to build.
Agree.
Don't you?
Yes.
I think it's going to be. In fact, it's probably going to at some point become too trendy.
Yes.
Especially when you've got booze involved at some point. You're going to hear more of it.
Right.
And if we're losing games, it's going to become a lot easier if we're losing
the key.
Games. Yeah.
Yeah, losing is the key. Because a lot of the people that are still there, they are into it still. Right?
I know.
I mean, they're
it's
still
stunning but true.
Yeah, there's people that just want to see the team.
Life moves fast. A new home, a new baby, a new chapter. But without an estate plan, your future's still vulnerable. With Trust and Will, you can name guardians, start a trust, create healthcare directives, and more. All online in about an hour. It's attorney-designed, state-specific, and built to protect what you love. Plans start at just $199, and every plan is safe, secure, and kept completely private. From families with young kids to adults caring for aging parents, Trust and Will makes it simple to take control, without a law office, paperwork stress, or court delays. Go to trustandwill.com and use code RADIO to save 20%. Start your plan today. Don't wait for life to force your hand. Estate planning is one of the smartest, most loving things you can do. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
Trust and Will.
Gatorade Zero, the #1 proven electrolyte blend, made with zero sugar. Designed to hydrate better than water so you can lose more sweat and push more limits. Gatorade Zero. Is it in you?
State Fair shirt collection is right around the corner, but we couldn't keep this one hidden any longer. You can snag your From Dong Show to Gong Show shirt today in the KFAN Pro Shop. Just go to KFAN.com, keyword Gong, to grab yours today.
August 15th, 1975. So that's 25 and 60 years ago today. No, 50 years ago today. Am I doing the math right?
I think so.
1975 to get to 2000 is 20.
Yes.
Why am I doubting myself?
Well, it was 7 years before I was born, and I'm 43. So 43 plus 7 is 50. That's how I'm going to fact check you.
25 and 25 is 50.
Yes, you're good.
In a twin bill against the Rangers at Memorial Stadium, Baltimore, Maryland, Orioles skipper Earl Weaver was ejected twice by umpire Ron Luciano. Weaver was thrown out in the first game of a doubleheader, and he is tossed again before a pitch is thrown in the nightcap when he's exchanging lineup cards, and he and Luciano get it back into it at home plate. How good is that?
It's brilliant.
How good is that? Are we to think that coaches, managers throwing tantrums like babies will equal success? The top two in Minnesota history are Kelly and Grant, both of whom were known for their stoicism and keeping their mouths shut on the sideline / in the dugout.
It's such a great point.
And look,
not that Rocco's either one of those two guys.
No.
But go ahead.
What I was going to say is that it's what I've often said I respected about Kelly as a manager, largely because, look, a lot of managers would tell you they really didn't do it for the fans, for the entertainment value, or for themselves. They did it because they felt obligated to protect the player, their own player. And what I loved about Kelly is he did not care about that. If he thought it was the right call, I'm not going to go out there, look like a clown just to soothe your ego because even if it's my player, that player will not admit that he got gunned down legitimately. I actually like that about Kelly. But I will also say we're big believers on this show being who you are. So
ideally,
if you are, if you are more emotional as a manager, then smoke them if you got them. It's when people try to be what they're not, or they force it too hard. Oh, I'm supposed to be out here, which again is what Kelly rebelled against.
Are you hungry or are you starving?
That's it, where it becomes rather performative, right?
Can you imagine Tom Kelly? This is a little bit of a leap. Can you imagine TK as an NBA coach in 2025 when Anthony Edwards or anybody demands that they go to replay and they twirl it? And TK, he probably looks back at the four coaches, or does he even look back? Does he just go, play?
Yeah, just go.
Play. D up, their ball, inbound. I'd love to see TK get the twirl.
That's very, very good point. That's very, very true, Davey. I remember Tommy Lasorda with Johnny Carson when he told Johnny whenever the team would go against certain umpires that he particularly despised, in his pregame meal, Lasorda would load up on the garlic before the game. Now, I don't think let's face it. Tommy Lasorda loved the linguine pregame, during game, postgame. That wasn't a reach for him.
Until Slim Fast.
That's true.
A shake for lunch,
You're
shake for breakfast, shake for lunch, and then a sensible dinner.
Yeah. All right. This is a complete 180 from this discussion. We'll continue to entertain your texts. I still am looking for some MnDOT help on the two exits near us that are shut down and nothing's happening on them. It's been a week now, I think, for both of them, or is it more than that? Are we in
I think we're in.
Might be second
couple
week,
weeks. Yeah,
it's just. And I'm not one of those people who thinks you can never do construction. You have to do construction. Nothing's happening there, though. Nothing. Zero.
I wonder what is the plan.
Well, that's the other thing. What exactly are they fixing?
I'm not sure.
And why does it have to be consecutive?
Both of them
exits or entrance ramps.
The only thing I can come up with is that they had to prepare it. They have to get it ready.
Yeah, I guess.
And they're on another job right now that must be taking longer.
Precedent or longer.
Maybe it's the express lane going into downtown and out of downtown, back out west, because that's closed now for a while.
You might be right. I mentioned AI earlier. A lot of talk about AI these days. I would not blame anybody out there for trying to follow the AI narrative right now for being incredibly confused about how to think at all about the concept of AI. Let me give you two examples from just this week to illustrate my point and the contradiction. This is from a tweeter named Louis Anslow. And he's got links to two different medical stories. One reads, superbugs could kill 39 million people by 2050 amid rising drug resistance.
And that's a fact.
There's a companion headline. AI designs antibiotics for gonorrhea and MRSA MRSA superbugs.
Excuse me?
And his overall headline is, AI is going to save millions of lives if we let it. Same week. Dateline Vegas. Jeffrey Hinton, known as the godfather of AI, fears the technology he helped build could wipe out humanity and that tech bros are taking the wrong approach to stop it. Hinton, a Nobel Prize-winning computer scientist and a former Google exec, has warned in the past that there is a 10% to 20% chance that AI wipes out humans. On Tuesday, he expressed doubts about how tech companies are trying to ensure humans remain dominant over submissive AI systems. It's not going to work. Not going to work. They're going to be much smarter than us. They're going to have all sorts of ways to get around that. So the average rube, I'm sitting there, is probably thinking, wait a minute now. What the hell? It's going to save millions of lives, save humanity, or it's going to wipe us out. Can it be both at the same time? Is there a way?
Is it up to us to figure it out?
Well, and that gets back to what Godfather of AI guy Hinton says. And I heard him, he was interviewed with your guy, Andy Cooper. Anderson Cooper. And he says that the only chance, well, I'll give you the indirect quote. Hinton argued at a conference recently that, well, let me back up. Instead of forcing AI to submit to humans, Hinton's idea is to build, quote, maternal instincts, unquote, into AI models so they really care about people.
Good luck.
Which in of itself is a fairly large indictment on the paternal side, but we leave that.
Yeah, what's up with that?
For the moment. That seems more like a generalization. Here's the quote. The right model is the only model we have of a more intelligent thing being controlled by a less intelligent thing, which is a mother being controlled by her baby. Now, I'm not sure with the PC police whether he's going to get fined for that, but that's what he says. But in the interview with AC, when AC asked him to sort of expand on this, like, okay, how do you do that? He didn't really have an explanation. So is AI the death of us, or is AI going to guarantee the life in all of us forever and ever and ever? And obviously, the dream is it's more the latter, and we find a way to control the former where AI doesn't get ideas that it wants to wipe us out because it wants to be in control. And how in the hell do you, in an AI sense, in a computer sense, how do you instill a maternal instinct that apparently, according to him, would kick in when, we had our big board meeting and we were talking about annihilating humanity, and then our maternal instinct kicked in and said, we can't do that.
Right.
That's just not right.
But how
do you do that?
I don't know, because I've also read that there's some, and obviously, you and I just struggled to get 75 to 25 to 50, so we're not exactly going to be great AI minds here.
No, we're not.
But where they try to, basically figure out if they can stop AI, and they'll program things into it that they think are going to stop it, but then AI figures out how to get around it.
Yeah.
And then you can't
AI is
stop
smart.
it. Because AI is smart, because you designed it.
Well, what was the Goldblum line in the dinosaur movie?
In Jurassic Park?
Life finds a way. In this case, AI finds a way.
That's it. That's why you don't want to lose control of it too much. Well, because maybe we already have.
We've talked to Knocker about his belief that we don't even completely fully comprehend just how helpful, medically speaking, AI can be. Even if there's that concern about, well, you still want a doctor, a human that you could talk to, and converse with, and show your vulnerabilities to if they do their job right. There seems to be no question that it can do a lot of medical research a lot quicker, right? I don't think there's any. That's already, I think, been established. But the concern, as you say, is the old Frankenstein monster. Be careful what you wish for in terms of what else that it might do. I just love the juxtaposition of the two headlines this week.
It's classic.
That I think, again, most of us are out here just, we're just trying to muck along, trying to figure stuff out, talk to people, read things. And at the end of this week, I'm going, wow, that's quite a disparity between those 2 points of view. So any help via the Bradshaw and Bryant KFAN text line, feel free. 646-86. We have, I know, some very bright scientific minds.
We do. And people that know AI that are more locked into it than us.
Have a much better idea. There's no question.
Yeah. Because it's going one of two ways. It's either going to save everybody or it's over for all of us.
In nature, mothers kill worthless spawn. Good luck, people. Man, there's
that too. That's right.
A grim thought, but there's some truth to it, isn't there?
You're right. So maybe it does both.
Do you think he's just trying to get in, with the ladies or something? The Godfather guy, AI guy?
Probably.
That's just interesting that he got that specific and made it sound like it would have to be a maternal thing.
Yeah, dads are getting the short shrift.
Not a paternal thing. Another problem with AI data centers, states give them breaks, and the center use so much power the average person picks up the bill. Is that true? I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe it is.
Could be. Sounds right.
AI will save lives until it realizes it doesn't need us. And in fact, realizes we're the only thing standing in its way. That's from Phineas.
Think about it. I know.
It makes some sense.
So then what do we do? Do we need shelters? What did we do in the nuclear war days? The bomb
we had
shelters?
fallout shelters.
Fallout
no
shelters.
one believed that they were actually going to have any impact. They were sold to us to try to keep the panic to a minimum when everybody sure as hell knew that if a nuclear bomb landed anywhere near, we had them at Daniel Webster Elementary, Gary, Indiana. When I was in third grade, I can still remember doing we'd even do the test where you go under the table.
Yep.
But if there had been a nuclear bomb that landed in Chicago, Gary ain't far enough away. We were done. It didn't matter if we were under the desk. Doesn't matter if we were in the basement.
The under the desk was great.
Toast. We were going to be, just evaporated.
The under the desk was always a great one.
Did you? You never had to do that.
We did have to do that.
You did?
Yeah, I think it was for tornadoes, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it was for nuclear bombs. But we were still rolling with that in the early 90s. Go under the desk. You'll be fine.
I don't know what to make of this. This is from Decal Guy. Dan, I left you an actual letter on a hot topic. However, it's in your mail cart in the fifth floor elevator bank. Your call for entry phone didn't work. It's regarding the dog poop topic from Tuesday, and it is not a bag of poop.
So you've got mail in the lobby.
I guess I must.
Yeah.
Well, not even in the lobby, in the by the elevator.
Yeah, I basically call that the lobby. Yeah, the lobby to the lobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty well secured now.
What else do we have here? What does this mean? Skynet will become self-aware. Better Call Schwarzenegger. Is that a throwback to one of his science fiction films?
It must be.
That he was in?
Yeah, it must be.
I wish I knew what that meant, but I'll take his word for it.
I'm getting my Schwarzenegger movies mixed up. It wasn't in Jingle All the Way.
It wasn't the original Terminator about the war of man versus machine. That's from Dana. When the robots come, you can find me under my desk. But that's not going to save you from the robots, is it?
Probably not.
I don't think. Is it?
Probably not. They're going to be able to find you.
Imagine if the federal government utilizes AI in their nuclear arsenal and experiences a hallucination like it is prone to. I don't even want to think about that. What do you mean a hallucination? Experiences... is that a Trump shot? I can't tell what that means.
I don't know. I'm lost in the weeds.
Might be a
some
Trump
of these
shot.
texts.
It could be a Trump shot. No question about that. AI is not intelligent. It is a clever language robot. We are, in my estimation, a long ways from actual intelligence. Well, that's the other thing. There are days, some stories I listen to and I read, and because it's such a sexy subject, and because it's eye-opening, and it gets people's attention, I do wonder whether we're further along on it. We're not as far along on it as we've been led to believe, because in a media landscape, to get your attention, the story almost has to be sold as this is right around the corner.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
When maybe it's 100 years off, and then what do we care? 150 years off. And at that point, what's the difference? I mean, my body will be frozen at that cryogenic
in Michigan?
Cryonics lab in Michigan.
Yep. Will you work 6 days a week when we unfreeze you, or will you just do 5? What are you thinking?
Well,
you should get that figured out.
Depending how it's.
Will you still want to do sermons once we unfreeze you?
You think there'll still be a KFAN?
There'll be something. I don't know what it'll be. There'll be something.
I don't know.
Halby will probably run it. He's the only one that understands AI around here.
What is the most compelling AI-related science fiction movie?
You're talking to the wrong guy.
No, I'm asking everybody.
The audience will have to help us.
Because it's been a while since I've seen any of the Terminator films. Are there any more recent than that?
Oh, I'm sure there are. Yeah. I'm sure there have been some really good ones where the machines start to take over.
Is the company that controls the robots in Terminator. That's the Skynet reference that was being made earlier.
What's Elon Musk's internet company? That's what I thought it was for a second. What's the Elon Musk internet company?
I don't know.
Or cell company?
Oh, yeah, it does have a name, but it's not company. Yeah.
It feels like Skynet, but it's not.
What is AI's take on corn sweat? Well, it's confirmed. It's a real thing. I mentioned to you earlier today, but I don't know where I put it. Some crop analytics for the great state of Minnesota, like where we stand. By the way, in real time, are Trump and Putin meeting as we speak?
I don't know if it's happening now, but I did see the handshake. I saw the B-52 bomber fly over as they were walking off the tarmac. Okay. I don't know when that was from. I don't know if that was now or if that was earlier.
And will anybody have the guts to ask him the Kirill Kaprizov question? Putin.
What's going on with them?
Yeah, probably not. I'm going to guess that's going to be...
It could be good small talk.
It's just something to break the ice, perhaps?
Yeah. What's up with Kirill?
Would that work?
How's 97? What's he waiting for?
Here we go. I think I just found it. You want some analytics related to corn sweat? Here it is. Here's the U.S. corn yield, bushels per acre. And these are 2025 yields, how they compare to last year. You care to take a guess on what state is number one in the nation in corn yield? So, by definition, corn sweat.
I'm going to say us or Wisconsin.
Neither.
Is it Nebraska?
No.
Kansas.
It's a state you're familiar with.
It's Iowa?
Iowa's number one.
I thought that'd be too obvious.
Illinois. Well, I should say this is for 2024. Iowa was number one. Well, no, this is a little more complicated than that. Actually, let's go to the current numbers, 2025. Iowa is 1. Illinois is 2. And then it looks like Indiana is 3.
Wow. Upset.
And Minnesota, 4. Now, our percentage up from a change from 2024 is the highest percentage increase in the country. We're up in corn sweat 16.1%.
We're coming
from a year ago. No wonder it's felt so much more humid this year. But we are right there. South Dakota, Kansas, Ohio, Wisconsin, Missouri, and North Dakota follow not that far behind. So we now understand exactly why. We're learning a lot about corn and the corn yield in the great state of Minnesota and just how well we compete with other states in the United States of America.
A lot of those states surprise me. I guess it shouldn't because they are all technically in the Midwest in some form or fashion, right? Even Ohio.
That's true.
I always think of Ohio as being way more east than it actually is.
Looking for... What are some other... Well, there's a lot of states that are strong. Let's put it that way. I mean, there's a bunch. For 2025, in terms of bushels per acre, there's only 3 states in the 200s. Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, and us. 4 states. That's it.
Purple pride.
Everybody else, like South Dakota, 168. Kansas, 139. Ohio, 196. Wisconsin, 185. Texas is 120.
Wow.
Not in our, classification, but not bad at all. A lot of corn out there, man. A lot of corn. Colossus, the Forbin project from 1970 deals with a supercomputer. Hold on. Scroll down. Now my cursor, what's going on here? Software changes are required. What does that mean? Here we go. Got an X out of that. Colossus, the Forbin project from 1970 deals with a supercomputer that becomes sentient and takes over the world. What does sentient mean?
I don't know. I'll have to look.
Look up sentient. 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 The latest... Go ahead.
Able to perceive or feel things.
The latest Mission Impossible is basically AI wanting to take over the human race. Great flick.
And Tom Cruise won't let that happen.
Yield in bushel per acre or total bushels? Well, calm down. I mean, I thought I gave it to you as specifically as I could. It just says bushels per acre. I don't even know what the difference is. Do you?
No. We don't need follow-ups from the audience on corn.
Terminator 2 is definitely the best AI doomsday movie. Because it's all about the computers of Skynet becoming self-aware and then trying to wipe out humanity. More applicable now than it was made. Maybe that's going to turn out to be one of those movies that looks even better today than it did when it came out. Those films that look, really prescient. Because a lot of times a movie made, that's decades ago that movie was done, wasn't it?
Yes.
And then by now people are just laughing at it. When they look back on it, they say it's dated. It doesn't add up. These folks are saying that it holds up very, very well. Terminator 2 is the one that people keep saying is the movie to see. directly. I think I've probably seen it. I don't know that I remember it from Terminator 1 all that much. Because I like science fiction more than you.
Yes.
But the whole Terminator thing didn't excite me. But now I guess I got to pay attention to it. Don't we?
I guess if they're saying that this is what they warned us about.
Dan, be careful about talking about the USDA crop reports. Many people think that these reports are manipulated by the government to dampen commodity prices. That's from Jake. Didn't think of it that way.
More conspiracies.
Minority Report with Tom Cruise. I think I do remember that film. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Been a long time since I've seen it. But I thought pretty good as well. We still have to give the AI the information to build the large language models. It can just do complex things way faster and more efficiently than humans. Well, that would seem to be then on the medical side. It does have a place. But we got to get it to where it's going to save us as opposed to wipe us out. And when you have the godfather of AI say just a couple of days ago, we're toast unless we somehow, implant a maternal instinct into these machines. It's pretty much over for us. It's a kind of a daunting thing to think about. Let's make this the top of the hour pause. Ben Gessling, 4:30, Lavelle at 5:30. Don't go.
Gatorade Zero, the #1 proven electrolyte blend, made with zero sugar. Designed to hydrate better than water so you can lose more sweat and push more limits. Gatorade Zero, is it in you?